Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerds New Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, aka Gordon Shumway, with my co-hosts.
Okay, this is Eli, aka Old Man Luscious.
There we go. And we're back with the episode. And yeah, people have known that we took a vacation last week, but we should actually come back. We're well rested.
You took a vacation.
Oh, I took a vacation. Yeah, I had to get away from it all. No, I wasn't even there. I had to go to a wedding in Texas and Dallas, which I'll talk about that later on. But yeah, I had to get away from all. Now we're back and ready to get back to work and clock in. So today, well, technically yesterday was Happy Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to everybody that got their I guess socks and underwear.
And donuts. I got a donut from
you got a donut. You did get a donut. I saw that
Dunkin' Donut hooked me up with a free #1 dad donut. Thought that was kind of.
Would you just walk in, just say I'm a dad, and they just gave you one?
Well, they say, "Hey, we're giving away donuts for dads. Would you like one?" I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah, I'm somebody's daddy. Might as well. So, oh yeah, so might as well do that. So that's pretty good. I guess we just move to the next thing. Like I said, that was yesterday was Father's Day. Day before that was also now a national holiday, Juneteenth. So I guess we can talk about June. What do you drink? Oh yeah, you drinking Mountain Dew. I'm like, is there like a Juneteenth drink you drink? Okay, I guess the official Juneteenth drink would be.
I almost said a racist joke there, but I
you can't say it, but I can. I
can't say it. I was gonna come up with a drink, but I won't.
I will say it because I know you're about to say Kool-Aid. I know you're about to say Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is the official drink of Juneteenth. See, I can say
that. Though? What flavor? There was a specific flavor.
Yes, there's specific flavor. The flavor is red. We already know. What flavor, what ingredients is in red? We don't know. You don't want to know.
There's 2 flavors, grape and red.
Grape and red, that is it. And on a whole shitload of sugar. That's about it. So yeah. So they decided to make Juneteenth a national holiday. Who made Juneteenth national holiday? I guess these people. So yeah. So good thing for us.
Wait, that wasn't Herman Cain in there, was it?
No,
no, or is that Clarence Thomas?
No, I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember his name, but he's somebody. But not Clarence Thomas, not Herman Cain, somebody else. But yeah, they decided to make. Now here's the thing: Trump was trying to make Juneteenth a national holiday, but a lot of people say he was just doing it just because he was trying to get reelected and blah blah blah. He was catering. Maybe so. They did this that. Now, Eli, people are divided on this. Gomer, I think you was in the post when Gomer and I were talking back and forth about it, or you may have been.
Oh, I think I saw some of it. Yeah, I saw some of it. Yeah.
And like I said, we there's different opinions of it. I've seen different opinions about whether or not Juneteenth should be recognized as a national holiday. I say nothing's wrong with it. I mean, we got Martin Luther King a national holiday. We should have this one. However, I don't feel like the government should feel like they did something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they basically patting themselves on the back for something that was already going on. Like I said, they made Juneteenth a holiday, like on Wednesday or Thursday, some shit like that. Meanwhile, Juneteenth parties and celebrations and parades were set up months ago. So it wasn't like we were just sitting around waiting for the government to do something. And then when they finally did it, we were like, oh, yes, we did it. We won. No, we were going to do it anyway. But here's the thing about Juneteenth or just anything like that. Now that the government recognized it, I see a lot of Black people kind of divided on Juneteenth now. Oh, now it's a corporate sponsored holiday. Should we even bother celebrating anymore? You're this and that. If you even bother celebrating that, I'm like, oh, we're going with this again. See, I realize what it is, Eli. I'm gonna tell you a secret about Black people. Okay, anytime that we see white people latch on to something that we created, it's out of style for us. We no longer deal with it anymore. So, it's the bomb. You never hear a Black person say this shit anymore. We're done with that.
I haven't heard that in decades. Yeah, it's the bomb.
You'll hear it on Friends or some shit like that, What else? Any dance on Fortnite. You can't do it anymore after that. It's done, So that's the thing. So when the government basically acknowledged that Juneteenth exists, even though we've already known it exists for a long time, now it's just like, do we even want to celebrate anymore? We shouldn't feel divided on it. We should celebrate it. We can still complain and need to take the next steps. Still waiting on reparations, but that's where we are with it right now. So that's what I got to say about Juneteenth. However, here's one more thing I got to say about Juneteenth. Now that the government recognizes a thing, I do not want Juneteenth to become the next Cinco de Mayo. Happy hour at your nearest soul food restaurant while you're wearing, kente cloth, getting specials. We don't need that. Just
or St. Patty's Day or Pride Month.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah. It's like that meme for Pride Month. I'm something of a homosexual myself. The meme with the William Dafoe as Green Goblin.
I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen that.
It's fun. Yeah, June 1st. I'm something of a homosexual myself. Yeah.
Oh man, did June 31st, the day after, they right back to what they were doing before. So yeah. Wait, there's no June 31st. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I mean, it's good to be federally recognized, but also they should also teach what it means too, because they ain't.
They're not teaching it. They're banned teaching in some states. Some states still don't even recognize it. Like I said, I'll just give a quick synopsis because I feel like I have to say something about Juneteenth. What Juneteenth is. Like I said, it is the date not that the slaves were freed. The slaves were freed on the Emancipation Proclamation, which was like 2.5 years earlier. Juneteenth is just when the slaves in Texas found out they were free, because they didn't have Facebook back then. So it wasn't just instant when they said it, so it took a while. And it just trickled down to other states and the states from there. So every state didn't get recognized on the same day. It went to Texas, went to the state. Eli, like I said, we've been doing this podcast for a while. When did Mississippi abolish slavery officially?
Oh, it was like not too long ago, was it?
Yeah, like 2013 or some shit like that.
Well, it's like, back to what my boss was talking about when, shout out to my boss, one of our faithful listeners. But he was talking about, the freedmen, the black natives. And there were tribes in the South that owned slaves. And the thing is about the Emancipation Proclamation is it didn't apply to tribes because they were sovereign. So it took years later for the tribes to actually free them and eventually adopt them. A lot of the tribes that end up adopting the slaves into the tribe. But yeah, I mean, it's like colonialism, man. It's a bitch,
Yeah, it's the thing. But like I said, this is history of the land. That's why I'm not upset about, because everybody else is upset that Juneteenth becoming a national holiday. But this is the thing we need to know, because now people recognize it. People need to learn about it. Now, there is one thing I need to know, Eli. Are we getting paid on Juneteenth?
Do you get your donut? Do you get a free donut?
Not the donut. Do I need to clock out for that day or something like that? That's what I need to know. Am I getting time and a half?
You get the day off. You get the day
Am
off.
I getting time and a half? I don't know what Memorial Day is. Hell, I don't even know what Cinco de Mayo is. I know a lot of Hispanics
no one gets
don't
the
even
day
know.
Off on Cinco de Mayo. Yeah,
that's true. Even though if you do you just show up to work drunk. That's all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's about it. Okay, so like I said, we move on to the next part of the podcast.
Sure.
Like I said, I've been on vacation. I went somewhere, and when I went somewhere, Eli, I came back enlightened.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't go to Mecca, anything like that, but
you didn't go to Shaolin.
No, I didn't go to Shaolin, anything like that.
You didn't go to Tibet. You didn't climb that mountain in Batman Begins and shit. Get that purple flower.
Right, come back all knowing. No, I'm not Doctor Strange with a shit like that. But the thing is that something opened my eyes, that I went to Texas. Like I said, I went to Dallas, Texas. I went there for my cousin's wedding. But while we were there, we went on the street where JFK was assassinated. And it's like a whole.
I've been there.
I mean, before it's like a whole. I mean, it's just a regular street. You just ride down the street and things like that. But the thing is, it's a whole theme park there. Like everybody's selling stuff, and they marked this off. They got like there was like a museum. They turned the apartment where the hotel, where Lee Harvey Oswald was staying at, turned it into like some kind of museum where you go in there, you look at stuff like that. So Eli, I looked around and I did some investigating myself on it. Like I said, I read enough Batman comics. I'm not saying I'm the world's greatest detective, but I've read enough detective stories to piece this story together myself. So Exhibit A.
The truth is out there.
The truth is out there. So they're telling me, if you look at the picture that I have right now, it's saying Lee Harvey Oswald was in the far left window, not the very top, but the window underneath it. That's where he took the shot from. Now, here's the thing, Eli. If you notice from there to there, there's a tree right there in that spot. Now, I'm not saying the tree is completely blocking that spot, but I'm just saying to make that shot from there to there, you'd pretty much have to be dead shot. That's all I'm saying. So that's my thing. And on top of that, now here's where it gets tricky. Now, if he shot from there in the top of the hotel and they showed the footage, why did JFK's head go back and to the left or to the right? One of them. Either way, it went back. So that's not how.
It was the cigarette smoking man on X-Files. He's the one who really did it.
Thank you. They were ahead of their time. The truth is out there.
What did Gomer say? The comedian from Watchmen.
The comedian from Watchmen. The Winter Soldier did it. That's what happened. On the trip down there, I told my dad that we were talking about JFK go down. I'm like, they did it in an X-Men movie or comics like that. And he made it like the face he gave was like the most repulsive shit ever. Like, what the hell are the X-Men doing? What? I didn't raise you to read this shit, But anyway. But just looking at this whole thing, Eli, I'm not saying the earth is flat and all the stuff like that, but I'm just saying there's no way in hell that happened the way they said it happened. It couldn't.
No, I mean, there's definitely a cover up. I mean, yeah, two old ass comic nerds aren't going to solve the greatest conspiracy of all time right now. But yeah, there's some shady shit happened. Especially talking about, Jack Ruby and all that shit. Yeah. No, I've been there. I've been to the Conspiracy Museum. My dad, me and my uncle drove my dad from New York to Dallas one time. Mm-hmm. And we went on the grassy knoll. We went down there, and there was a conspiracy. I saw the grassy knoll also. And the thing is, the grassy knoll is the perfect spot. It's the perfect spot because I stood over there, and I was like, that's a straight shot. Nothing can stop you, Yeah, I went to the Conspiracy Museum. They talked about like this whole Illuminati cult that's been, responsible for everything, including Lincoln's assassination and all that shit. It was wild stuff. Gotta let. But this was back in the 90s when I was a big X-Files fan, so I was like eating it all up and shit. But yeah, I mean, but it was an eventful trip. Two Brooklyn Italians getting in an argument in some barbecue in Arkansas. That was the highlight of the trip.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's people there that was saying this is the truth. This would really happen. I know they were trying to sell us something. I know that, but I'm just saying there's no way. There's no way it happened the way it happened. They said it did. Yeah. So anyway, can we move on past that? Let's talk about some good stuff. Let's talk about, the stuff that everybody. Here's the thing, Eli. This next topic we're going to talk about. Normally, whenever there's a topic that hits on Monday, by the time we finally get to it when it's time to record, it's already old. But this is like still fresh in people's mind. And people still finding out about this.
This is old, but people are still talking about it.
It's old now, but it didn't get old till about what?
Yesterday?
Thursday? I say Thursday. It got old by Thursday, but normally it lasts until then. So basically what we're going to get to right now is that we're talking about this whole heroes don't do that hashtag that happened. And if you don't know, obviously you don't listen to podcasts like this, but we're breaking down what's going on. So the show called Harley Quinn, which I recommend everybody watch. This show is hilarious. It's funny as hell. Please watch it. They said there's some hurdles that they had with DC, and they said for their season 3, they saying, DC pretty much let them do whatever they want to do, except for one thing that they said they can't do. They made them cut a scene where Batman went down on Catwoman. And they said, why did you make us cut that scene? Because heroes don't do that. That's the official word of DC. So the main takeaway we need to go from this is that Harley Quinn is getting a season 3. That's what we need to pay attention to. Like I said, pretty sure it's going to be
already in production.
It's already in production. So that's the main thing we need to take away from all this. But yeah, Eli, the memes just been flying. Some people have been getting upset about this and want to be like, boycott what? Like the thing is, if DC wants to ban Batman from eating some coochie, okay, that's fine. But no reason to get upset about it. I mean, Batman's not real. But when you think about it in a situation, it is kind of funny. Hold on. We got a comment.
Yeah.
Oh, Fat T.
T's in the house.
Nice. Yeah. My girls love this show. What show?
Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Someone let kids watch it, but hey, that's me. That's me.
Hey, it's a hard world, yo.
Hey, we grew up watching RoboCop and Rambo and shit. We turned out fine-ish. So, what are we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Batman doesn't eat pussy, yes.
Oh, yeah. So they say. Who we got here? 616, man. Batman's a nut job sucker. Harley Quinn. Oh, yeah. 616, what's going on? So my thing is that, like I said, the memes are flying left and right, and everybody's like, what the hell is going on with Batman? Batman don't do this. And my thing is, Eli, he don't eat Catwoman? Like, let's think about Catwoman for a second. I'm just saying, there's no way Catwoman would stick around if a man wouldn't do that. Like, not even a Batman, just
like
any man.
Like I said on the Gomer's pod on This Geeks and Comics, maybe that's the real reason why she didn't marry him. That's why she stood his ass up.
Yeah, that got to be the reason. It's just like, no, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't stick around for that. It's just like, now the fact is that heroes don't do that. Now I think we still have this old man mentality of what men do and men won't do. Because the thing is, let's be honest with you. If you do that, you do kind of put the woman in control in a situation. You're kind of in a submissive situation. And some people don't want their superheroes to get in a situation like that. Because we know Batman has sex. Batman's got kids, I mean, so we know that. But the fact that he does that, they're saying Batman doesn't do that. Well, I don't know. I guess villains do that. We know Joker does it. We know Venom got to do it with that long ass tongue he's got. So
Nightwing getting all kinds of
Nightwing, Starfire? Shit. There's no way Batman. I mean, Nightwing's not doing it with Starfire. But yeah, my whole thing is with that, like, but Batman has Catwoman and won't do that. I mean, he won't go down on this. 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 I mean, I know it's Rihanna, but still, I'm just saying he won't go down on that.
I thought Zoe was Zoe's the new Catwoman.
Right, Zoe's the new Catwoman. Like, Batman, what are you doing? You're not the hero we deserve. We need the hero we need. Let me see, Catwoman does a full thing. Oh yeah. They do that 616, man. So that's the thing. They'll have sex on a rooftop, but Batman's just like, So Catwoman, obviously would just, because Catwoman just do whatever she wants to do. She'll go down to Batman. She's like, Batman, okay, Batman, your turn. Batman like, heroes don't do that. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Like,
please. I do want.
Yeah, like DC makes him out to be like he just grabs her clothes and throws it out the window. Get the fuck out! Like,
right. That's what it seems
I'm
like.
Batman.
Why don't you eat my coochie? Because I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Stop playing. He's the butt too. I'm just saying that's what I want to talk about because it was crazy. But here's the thing, Eli. We got confirmation. Are the hero that we, not the hero we need, but the hero we deserve, came to our defense. And I got to talk about that. Your boy, Zack Snyder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Zack Snyder came to the rescue and basically gave a confirmation. I probably shouldn't show it because I'm pretty sure we're going to get banned if we do this. But did you see it? I see it. Okay. Let me see if I can look. So it's canon. But you see Batman going down on Catwoman because basically he's saying his Batman does the deed. His Batman is the hero we deserve, So that's all I gotta say about that. So here's my thing about that. I think about the whole Batman does this, Batman. It's almost like the Batman don't kill rule. Some Batman do it, some Batman don't. So I think some Batman eat coochie, some Batman don't. Like he just confirmed Ben Affleck does. George Clooney, nah. Michael Keaton? I don't think he does either. Christian Bale definitely doesn't. But you know who definitely does? Adam West.
Oh, yeah.
Adam West definitely does. Here's the thing. Because first off, we heard all these crazy ass stories about Adam West. There's a story going around. I don't know if it's true or not. They said Adam West and the actor that played the Riddler got kicked out of an orgy because they wouldn't break character. Now, I don't know how true that is, but I think that shit is hilarious.
And this was the 60s, yo.
This was the 60s.
Those were deep ass forests. Those are thick,
it went
thick brush.
With the machete like in Commando, where you just chopping the trees.
Just flossing his teeth afterwards and shit.
I'm just saying, if I was there in their orgy and Batman and Riddler were there and they leave, I'm like, this is a boring ass orgy. I'm going with them. Like, shit. That's just me.
Oh, you were at the orgy too, huh?
I wasn't there, but I mean, eat that booty with a crit. I don't think Michael Keaton would do it. I don't think he would. Continues.
Beetlejuice. He's thinking of Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice definitely would. Beetlejuice would definitely do it.
Yeah, eating all that all that ghost crack.
Oh man. I think we're done with the whole I had to get it out of my system. I had to get it out of my system. Everybody else talked about it. I didn't get a chance to. So it's
just hilarious. Like the Harley Quinn show is such a satire, and they're just making fun of everything in the Batman, mythology. But that's like the one sacred, gem that you cannot touch. I thought,
right? But she can make a joke about Batman fucking bats, and they have no problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they turned Batman into such a whiny pussy in the last couple seasons. It's hilarious, but he's not
But
allowed.
that's the funny part about it because he's doing it,
Yeah,
because he's the straight man for the comedy. So I kind of see what they're going with it, but
it could have been totally funny. It could have been like an ongoing joke throughout the season. And then Batman don't go down, so then Catwoman switch teams, and she.
With Harley and Poison Ivy, yeah. I mean, because Catwoman already had a joke on one of the episodes. She was just like, "Oh, you want to know one thing about Batman? He shaves everything." I was like, "Oh, that's too much information, Catwoman." But let's go to the next one. Like I said, I watched the movie. I finally watched the movie, Eli. You were always doing the movie reviews here, but I finally watched the movie. I didn't have shit to do, so I watched the movie. The movie I watched was In the Heights. It was on HBO Max.
That's for
people don't know what this is a musical that is based on a play made by, I'm gonna screw his name up, Lin-Manuel something.
Miranda. It says right there.
Does it? Well, I don't see it. Don't tell me I wrote it down.
I don't know.
No, don't tell me I wrote it. Oh, it does say it. I didn't see it. It's like Where's Waldo. I couldn't see it. Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's his name. Okay. So this is his play. He wrote the play back in 1999, performed it all the way up to like 2008, where he actually played the lead character. But I guess he kind of aged out of role by the time it got to the movies. So they basically got a younger guy that looks just like him to play in the movie. And boom, there you go, In the Heights. It's based about watching the Heights, and they're singing and dancing and blah, 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 and all stuff like that. Here's the thing, Eli. They talk about some real heavy stuff in this movie. They talk about, because like I said, it's from a Latinx or Hispanic point of view. So they talk about, repatriation. They talk about, the DACA Act. They talk about illegal immigration. They talk about shit. I know the name of it. I'm forgetting it. Gentrification. That's what I'm talking about. Gentrification. All that is in there. All that is in the story. And those are usually heavy topics, in other movies, stuff like that. But this, when they're talking about these heavy stuff, they're singing and dancing, stuff like that. So you feel good about it the whole time, So, but the songs are pretty good. I mean, like I said, it's the same guy that made Hamilton, so the song's pretty good. Songs are dancing, really great performances. I do feel like it's too many like huge, big, bringing down the house numbers. And they're almost like back to back to back to back to back. So you kind of get numb to it because like cranked up to 11. Even though the songs are good, they're just cranked to 7. They just throw in so much at you. And the plot really isn't a plot. There's stuff that happens. There are people that are there, but there's no like real conflict that like carries the movie. So it's just kind of just there. So, but I recommend the movie. Definitely go see it. If you're into musicals, like I said, I know this is a comic book podcast. And if there's one thing comic book nerds love, it's musicals. So
except this one.
Honestly, Eli, when I asked you to watch on HBO Max, as soon as I sent the text, I was like, I shouldn't have did that. I know damn well. Eli, and I'm gonna steal your line, Eli. You're too metal for this shit.
I've never been into musicals ever. I haven't watched this. I didn't watch Cats. I've seen a live performance of Cats, but I never watched the movie. I never saw Hamilton. I never seen what's the fucking, I can't even remember. Moulin Rouge, was that a musical? Yeah, that was a musical. Yeah. Never saw that. I never saw that. Like, that's the reason why I couldn't get into Disney as a little kid. I never liked Disney movies because they were always breaking out into a fucking song, and I thought,
I was singing Lion King songs, and you had no clue what those were. I was like, it's Lion King. Everybody knows Lion King.
I don't remember. I was just not my thing. South Park. That made me laugh. That was a good musical.
South Park wasn't a musical though.
They sang songs and they made me laugh.
They sang some songs. They sang songs. They made you laugh. Now you're making me rethink. Was South Park, because it depends on how many songs. Like how many songs does it take?
They're singing songs like all the time. Uncle Fucker.
Oh shit, Eli, you blowing my mind right now. You blowing my mind.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, now I'm starting to rethink that.
There's plenty of musical numbers in South Park, but yeah, it was funny. I mean, but yeah, I'm just, musicals are just not my thing. Not, I'm probably not going to watch, West Side Story. Even I was high. We had to watch that in music class back in high school, and even being high didn't help that for me. I was like, damn, man, I should have stayed outside and came in late for this shit, you know. But yeah, I'm just not a musical guy, so that's just me.
Okay, so I'm not trying to sell you on the movie. This isn't your thing. If you say, I'm just saying if anybody that are into musicals, I definitely recommend going to see In the Heights.
But I do like shit like Purple Rain, like the like live performances, you know.
Yeah, I don't mind. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's the
like
Purple Rain rides that line.
It's a biopic. It's a rock sort of pick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's live performances. Like they don't all of a sudden just start having a conversation and then start singing their feelings and shit. Like that shit. I'm not into that. You know? Yeah.
I can't knock it. But like I said, if anybody else watch it, you enjoy it, I'm gonna watch it again after this podcast. But yeah. But here's the thing, Eli. This movie is under controversy. Twitter has canceled this movie.
I heard there's some shit about it. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah,
they're mad at something.
They're mad at something because let me look at that. Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm gonna say it 5 times. I'm gonna say it 5
John
times.
M2, whoever that guy is.
Okay, so that guy directed Crazy Rich Asians. Okay, which I was like, it was okay. It was an alright movie. It was not a musical. Not a musical. It's okay, but yeah. But that's the whole thing about that one. So he came under fire because they're saying that there's too many light-skinned Hispanics in the movie. Now, watching the movie, there are some dark-skinned Hispanics in the movie, but the thing is, they're in the background. Whenever there's a dance number, they show up. But when it's time for actual love, conflict and drama and action like that, then they go back to where they were, Yeah. They might show up and steal some shit, but then they disappear and that's it,
Yeah, but the lines go to the pretty light skins, right?
Exactly. That's what it is. Twitter Culture Wars. That, like I said, the one main dark-skinned Hispanic that was in the movie was like the graffiti artist, and he maybe have like 3 lines in the movie. He like waves at people, and that's about it. But that's about it. There is a black actor in the movie. The Dr. Dre from Compton.
Oh, he played Dr. Dre. That's it.
Yeah, okay. That guy. He's in the movie, not Hispanic. He's just, just whatever. African American. Yeah, he's good. I know you don't care. That guy was good. He impressed me. It was just like, okay, yeah, he should do more of these, So he didn't seem out of place. Anything like it seemed like he's done this before. And I think I did some research on him after that. I think he was like training Juilliard or something like that. He's like a actual actor. He does this shit, So he was training all this shit. So that's pretty cool. Like that's the thing, when you watch this movie, you feel like every actor in this is going to blow up and do something else in the movie. Like if I see them in another movie, I'll be like, hey, you was from that thing. You were from that thing, because everybody made good performances in there. Jimmy Smith was in it. He can't sing worth shit, but it's good to see him in it,
Well, he was in Get On Up, or not Get On Up, The Get Down, or the Get Down. What's that was called?
What's the Get
Down? Show? The show about it was like about like the hip hop, and it was on Netflix. That's hip hop show.
Oh yeah. I can't remember what I know what you're talking about. I know it was on Netflix. It was about
the Get Down or the Get Up or the Get Down.
I can't remember what they. We'll Google it later on, or somebody fact checked or something like that.
But he didn't sing or dance in that.
He didn't sing in that. He's singing, dancing. It's all like, don't do that. Just don't. He's a good actor. When he's acting scenes, he killed it. But the singing and dancing, don't do that shit. But like I said, back to what Twitter was talking about. And to be honest with you, I saw the interview where they brought up, like I said, they asked Lin-Manuel Miranda. I've got to keep looking at it to make sure I read his name right. So they asked him about it. And he said, it's been a basic criticism they had since the play came out. They didn't have any dark-skinned Hispanic because basically they're saying that anytime basically America or, the audience, when they see a Hispanic, they're not looking for a Hispanic. They're looking for an Italian. They're looking for that just says they're Hispanic. And the thing is with the Latin community is a lot bigger than people think they are. Like I said, we're talking about Juneteenth, just like when they brought over the slaves from Africa to North America, they brought over just as many, if not more, from Africa to South America. So there's plenty of Black Latin, Afro Latinos down there, Afro Latino stuff like that. You got who you got? Zoe Saldana, you just name some famous ones, Rosie Perez, Gina Torres, Cardi B, we got plenty of them. There's plenty of them out there. Eli, just like you got Hispanics that look like you, they got Hispanics that look like me. But the fucked up part about it is that they don't consider themselves black. They look like me and don't consider they're black. They're like, no, Eli, I'm Dominican, Poppy. You know, look darker than me. You know, so that's the fucked up part about it. But that's what's going on. So yeah, but the thing is, and I know I'm jumping from topic to topic like that. The thing is, if there was more movies like this, where it's not just where Hollywood just released one, you know, demographic movie like this every 5 to 10 years, Lin-Manuel Miranda, you know, that guy wouldn't have to carry the culture on his back. That's why anything he doesn't do, he gets blamed for it. You know, nobody goes at Tim Burton why he don't have black people in his movie, or why Woody Allen don't have black people in his movie. But Lin-Manuel Miranda, they get on his ass about this shit when he just made one fucking movie. You know, so you know what I'm saying? Don't cancel him. Don't boycott this movie because of this. But at the same time, I do understand the criticism they make. So going forward, he can do better. He can learn. It's a learning experience. But that's what I got to say from that. Guess we can move on from that one. Eli, I'm exhausted. I think you have something to talk about.
Sure.
But I don't have a graphic or anything like that. I'm just.
Oh, is this about Hellraiser?
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So it has been announced that they are making a Hellraiser reboot. Another one. They announced a few years ago that there's a Hellraiser TV series going to be on HBO Max.
Oh shit! When's that coming?
I don't know. I know they shot a pilot. I heard that they were supposed. It was a go, but or it was Hulu. It was supposed to be on Hulu. I don't know. They were making a series. The guy who did Trick or Treat, he made one of the Godzilla, the King of the Monsters movies. That dude, Krampus, he was like in charge of it. But I haven't heard anything more about that. But now they're making another movie, a Hellraiser movie, rebooting it, and it's reported that this woman is going to play Pinhead, Odessa Azion. Is that her name?
Your guess is good as mine.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So this woman is playing Pinhead in the new Hellraiser reboot.
Hold on, Fat T. No, fact check us, Fat T. Let's see.
I heard Wes Craven.
It's not Wes Craven.
No, Wes Craven passed away years ago.
Yeah. I got on the shit back to this. So
he's talking Clive Barker. He's getting Clive Barker is the guy who wrote The Hellbound Heart, which was the book that Hellraiser was based on. He also directed the first two movies. Yeah, Clive Barker made the first two Hellraiser movies, and those are the only good ones. The rest suck.
Okay, that must be the one that 616 Man is talking about. The other ones.
Yeah, let's see if I can get to this. I got an image, so let me go to that. Let me see if I can find it. Where did it go? Did I get it? Where is it? Okay, here it is. Let's get that up there.
Is that Odessa chick you're talking about?
I am trying to. Okay, so now because there's been reports that this female Pinhead is going to be in the new Hellraiser reboot. There's been some controversy over it. Oh, they're gender swapping Hellraiser is Pinhead is this iconic
version.
Hellraiser is this iconic horror movie. Pinhead's another, iconic horror figure in horror culture. Blah 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 blah. They're fucking it up. Woke this, woke that. But in the original novel, Pinhead was a female. She was a female demon. So somewhere along the line, Clive Barker, who is gay, openly gay. I think he was experimenting with gender when he made the movie because the Cenobites are very S&M, the imagery is very S&M. But also in the comics, I've read a bunch of Hellraiser comics. At one point, Kirsty, the girl from the movie, she becomes a Cenobite and takes over Hell as Pinhead. And and here we go. So there you go.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Okay.
So a female Pinhead is canon.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So that was in the movie, or
that was in the comics and in the original book. Okay. So the original source material, Pinhead, the Pinhead character, was a female.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think, like I said, because Clive Barker is openly gay, I think he wrote these characters to be sort of gender fluid. And the early '90s, that probably didn't translate very well back then. So in this day and age, maybe they're going in a new direction. It's a new era. So yeah, I'm like, whatever. I enjoyed, like I said, I enjoyed the first two Hellraiser movies. The rest suck, and I did read some of the comics. I'm a fan, I guess. So I'm excited. I'll check it out. So.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, trying to see what we got next from there. I had to bring up some quick video game news for a second. I don't have a graphic or anything like that. E3 was this weekend. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was busy tied up doing stuff. However, hold on, what we got here? Yeah. Fat T, don't act like you with that big titty vampire chick on Resident Evil, where dudes just want to step on me, please. Don't be like that. Yeah. Means
Batman go down on Penny.
Oh man. So yeah. Like I said, E3 happened this weekend. Bunch of video games came out that I don't give a shit about. Only thing I care about is that Smash Brothers, which I don't care about, which I find interesting, that Kazuya Mishima is the next character coming out. So I thought, like, whoa. And he's gonna have the same move set. So my old ass can get on there and beat the shit out of my nephew because there's a character that I know how to play with on there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Teach him how to play real fighting games, not that bullshit. Yeah, like I said, move on to the next part of the podcast. Like I said, this is the Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about comic books. And Eli, you have a full load. That's what she said. So yeah, I'm gonna let you start off with
whatever I got.
Halo. And Fat T, my thing about Halo is that it looks like Halo. That's the problem. Oh, Battlefield, Fat T, Battlefield 20, whatever. Get that shit. You love it. Thank me later.
Well, okay, comic book. Should I start out with Venom?
Oh, yeah. We were reviewing comics. I forgot. Wait, Venom?
Yeah, Venom.
Oh, yeah, you did talk about Venom. Okay. Well, not yet, but you talked about it earlier.
Are we doing comics now? Are we done?
We're doing comics for our comic book podcast. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the big monumental event, Venom 200. Or number 35 in the Donny Cates run. So this is the final issue of Donny Cates Venom. So Donny Cates, as you well know, retconned Venom a couple years ago, turned it into this awesome fucking thing that I followed for a while. I followed to issue 20, right around the island of the symbiotes. That's when I kind of jumped off it. But then I came back for the King in Black run, and this is the final issue, Donny Cates' final Venom issue, and it's a big, thick, girthy book.
You got your money's worth of it.
It was $8, and it's like 80 pages. So it's worth you get more bang for your buck. And I was a little skeptical because usually when it's a 200 or an annual, it's like the greatest hits, and this is kind of like that. It's kind of written as you're going through Venom's, life, all the life and times of Venom and all the shit he did, paying tribute to the history of Venom. They do that, but they also push the story forward. This mainly focuses on Eddie Brock and Dylan. As you know, turns out Eddie Brock had a son named Dylan who had, the symbiote powers. Read the King in Black, all that shit. They talk about all that, Dylan having powers. So basically now after the King in Black is done, remember Eddie inherited the hive mind. So he can talk to every symbiote in the universe, kind of like Professor X with Cerebro. And it just, the first part of the book is just Eddie using symbiotes to basically fix what Null did. Null went and waged war across the universe, fucked up a bunch of planets, and now Eddie is using the symbiotes to repair what he's done. Going back, helping out planets, rebuild, protecting them, all that shit. and he's in the codex or whatever, that hive mind, so he can just do
that
this.
They can hear everything. He can control everybody.
He can control every
the
symbiote.
symbiotes.
Yeah, and because he's like a human being that inherited this power, he is now really old.
Let me blow you up. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, like Odin.
Yeah, he's like really old. It aged him because it's just he's a human that inherited this power, and so he's old man Eddie now.
I mean, but he's still like immortal and shit.
Yeah. He's and it's basically, so while he's doing that, what's up, Jude? Hello. While he's doing that, Dylan is struggling because Eddie took away his symbiote power to protect him from Null. So he's still trying to be a dad. He's still trying to be there for Dylan, even though he's constantly, in a mind warp. He kind of gets hypnotized and has to deal with other symbiotes, So he's kind of an absentee dad because he's constantly dealing with the symbiotes throughout the whole universe. And Dylan's like, "Oh, you don't remember when I told you? I told you this, but you were in your weird trance thing." He goes, "Oh yeah, sorry, I don't remember. I'm going to try and be there for you." So there's that struggle of him being a dad.
He's losing his humanity the more he becomes a god. Yeah.
And of course, Venom, the Venom symbiote, he's the one who broke away from the hive. He kind of protects Dylan at school. I mean, Dylan sort of walks the Venom symbiote turns itself into a dog and walks with Dylan to school. So that's the symbiote Venom, and then it's just basically going. There's a really touching scene where Eddie and Spider-Man have a conversation, and Spider-Man sort of breaks down, says, "Hey man, this is all my fault. If I was strong, like that symbiote attached to me, but I wasn't strong enough to fight it off, and it had all this shit happen to you." And Eddie's like, "You know what? This thing, according to the Donny Cates run, symbiotes have been on Earth for thousands of years. It would have happened anyways, blah, blah, blah." So they kind of
had something to do with the dinosaurs or something. Or?
Yeah, like Grendel, like that's what the Vikings called Grendel, and the dragons and stuff were basically symbiote dragons. So yeah, that was a kind of a touching moment, like Eddie and Peter Parker having like a heart to heart. At one point, there's this thing with the Maker. The Maker was trying to use the symbiote to repair his universe and bring his universe to the 616. And the Avengers want Eddie to join the Avengers. So there's a meeting with Eddie, meeting with Iron Man and, a bunch of the Avengers. They're asking him, "Hey, we you helped us out. You helped us defeat Null. We'd love to have you on the team." And Eddie's like, "No, I can't do it. I'm too busy. I'm trying to be a dad." But who would be cool would be Flash Thompson, Agent Venom. So then we get an Agent Venom's little snippet.
Is it the same Agent Venom Flash or?
Yeah, Flash Thompson is back. It is he fights some like alien armed robbers, and so we get a little bit of a Flash Thompson story, And then we go back.
He's alive now, so yeah. Okay.
And then we go to Dylan at school, and Dylan's being bullied. He's pissed off. He wants to he's mad at Eddie for taking away his power. He's being bullied by everybody. He's getting beat up and in fights and stuff. At one point, he's walking home. He's all angry, and he sees Jack-o'-lantern robbing somebody. And
I thought Punisher killed that guy.
No, he's back.
Okay.
And Jack-o'-lantern ends up shooting at Eddie or at Dylan. But the symbiote, Venom symbiote is a dog. He transforms himself into a big, Venom and protects Eddie. Protects Dylan. But a bullet does get through and hits Dylan. So Dylan gets shot. And Jack-o'-lantern's like, "What the hell? I didn't mean to shoot a kid." And, well, you're going to have to pay for that. So Venom, to save Dylan from, dying from the bullet, from being shot, he bonds himself with Dylan. And then This is Dylan Venom.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. I was like, eventually he's gonna become Venom. But you're saying he becomes Venom at the end of issue 200.
Yeah, and then he beats up. So Dylan Venom ends up. Yeah, here's him beating up. Beating up Jack-o'-lantern.
Did he kill him? Should have killed him. Punch it did. So
it looks like it. It just says thunk and then and all that shit. Probably it's off panel, so I don't really get to see it. And then Eddie shows up, and he sees Dylan with Venom, and basically Dylan's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, do this. I didn't mean to, get into this fight and all this stuff." And Venom's like, "Yo, I had to save him. He would have died." And Eddie's just like, "You know what? I get it. I took away your power, all that stuff. But you know what? This symbiote is bonding with you. Go ahead and have at it." And he's like, "Thanks, Dad." He's like, "Well, I hear there's a robbery over across town. Go get to work." And so, yep. Last panel.
Hold on. It's okay. Yep. Oh, and the adventure continues. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but like Kid Venom, though, right?
Yeah, it's basically Kid Venom. Yes, Kid Venom. And he's also like, you really want to use the chains? Because he's got chains now. Tommy McFarlane's going to sue for that shit. If they... Yeah. And Dylan even says, like, Eddie's like, "Isn't the chains a little bit too much?" And he's like, "No, I kind of like them. I've been reading a lot of old school comics, and I like the chains." So, so yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. It was a nice sentimental like send off. We're evolving. This is how Donny Cates took Venom as a character, took the Eddie Brock character, and sort of evolved them. Made you care about him. Gave him a little bit of humanity. Gave him a son. Gave him something to care about, not being this pissed off loner, because he started out as a villain, but now you actually care about Eddie. And I thought that's pretty cool. That's how you retcon something. That's how you reboot a character. And that's like, this is an example that this can be done to any character now. You can take a character that no one cares about or whatever and turn them into something, evolve them and flesh them out and make them cool again. So
right, it all depends on how you write it. That's all.
Yeah. So yeah, this is fuck it. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. I really dug it. It was a thick book, but it was enjoyable. I actually enjoyed it way more than I thought. So.
Yeah. Plus, it was an awesome run too. Like I said, so they cranking out these Venom movies left and right. They need to, look at this Kate's run. You got yourself a movie.
Yeah.
What do we got here? I know this isn't along the lines of comic books at all, but I read Motocross. You're right, it is not. But appreciate you for listening.
Yeah.
If you're still here, you probably dipped out by now, but whatever. Donny Cates Venom run, one where like I said, it was awesome. Some really big shit went down. I never put Venom like on a Thanos Space Quest type level, but Cates put him there somehow.
Yeah, so. He was just sort of a secondary. Well, he was a cool Venom. Like when he first came out, he was a cool character, like this really cool Spider-Man villain. And then they try to hero him up and turn him into a good guy throughout the 90s because that was the thing. Let's make good guys or bad guys into good guys. And he kind of got watered down, and I wasn't into that. And I remember when the Donny Cates #1 dropped, Venom #1, and I was like, I bought it, but I didn't read it for a while. It like sat on my pile for like a couple months, and then I finally read it. I was like, "Whoa, this is cool!" Then I ran out and got the rest of them because it had been a couple of months, So yeah, and it turned out.
You put me onto it. You hear? Well, glad. I'm pretty sure there's an E at the end of it. Glad you're still here because I said he wasn't here, but he's still here. So glad you're still here, June. If we ever do if there's ever a motocross comic book that ever shows up, we'll review it.
Ghost Rider. Read some Ghost Rider.
Oh, shit. I was just talking hypothetically, Eli. I didn't want you to give an answer.
But if you're into motorcycles, yeah, Ghost Rider.
I mean, technically, yeah. It was right there in front of me. I didn't think about it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm up? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll do this one first. Normally, we go with the big epic shit that came out. But since Juneteenth was 2 days ago, we're going to do a special book this week because this week Milestone has finally came back. and they actually back official back. DC is putting money behind them. They want to see, and they're going to start with their flagship character, which is Static, not Static Shock. Static, that's his name. So basically, the comic book company that he originated from is back, and they started releasing them. It's just a mini series, but that's where we're going from. Here's the thing, Eli. Technically, I got this book for free.
Did you?
I paid for it, but I got it for free because this thing, all the milestone titles are coming to DC Universe Infinite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So DC Universe technically is gone, but it still exists in spirit. Basically, it's just nothing but comic books now. But they're releasing them day one. So the day they're released in the stores, they're being released there also. So yeah, let's just crack into it. Let's see what we got here. And I'm gonna just start with the book. This is a continuation from Milestone Zero, where they kind of gave a backstory about what happened. Matter of fact, you have to read that story because this story goes right into it. Like, if you don't know what happened, they don't, they don't sugarcoat it. You just gotta
I didn't read
up.
Zero. I didn't read Zero, so I was playing catch up.
Yeah, did you read this?
I did. Yeah,
you did. Oh, what? Shit, you go. Well, you can technically I have to do it because it's day after Juneteenth. So
I figured you were, so that's why I read it.
You got the next one. So all right. So yeah. So basically, what the book was going on right now when we left off. Let's see where we're at. Yeah. So we're in Dakota City. Dakota City is where all the milestone books take place. Like, everything has a milestone. Like, just like in Marvel's New York City. Here is milestone is Dakota. He's meditating because he's remembering his training because his dad knows martial arts. But the other day he got bullied by some dude called Hothead or Flame Head or something like that. Beat the shit out of him in school. So and they find out, and basically he got in trouble for getting a fight at school. So, but the thing is that electricity that he got, but he just got the powers last week. Still learning them, still don't know how to control them. He's trying to meditate, but he can't figure it out. He's reminiscing on his life last week, and everything was normal, where he was just trying to, holler at the, chick and hang out with his friends. Now he's getting the superhero fights because the bully he got in the school fight with also has superpowers.
Hot streak.
Something, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
You got his sister here. I don't remember his sister from the old books, but I guess she's there. She's a thing now. He's really jumpy right now. He don't want anybody to touch him, stuff like that. I do kind of like the artist. The artist name is Chris Cross. He got like a little manga type feel to it or whatever.
Yeah.
Plus, that's definitely a 2021 black woman look right there. So I like that. And then some guy has his own podcast basically saying how like all the superheroes and supervillains of Dakota City are called the Bang Babies. If you watch the old Static Shock cartoon, they'll call it on there also. That's an old term. It's not something they just made up. So he's got a podcast that's, saying the truth is out there. They're trying to, villainize them, but they're really on our side. And, their side thing. That's it. So he goes back to school. And the thing is that since that's the locker where he beat the shit out of Hot Streak or Flame Head, whatever his name is. Hot Streak. It's right there. Yeah. All right. Flaming Cheetos. That's a good name. And then the thing is, since he kept it a secret that he got in a fight with them. So basically, some guy named Derek, who's on the basketball team, took credit for beating the shit out of Hot Streak. So everybody thinks he did it. So now he was already most popular in school. Now he's even more popular because people think he's a superhero. Meanwhile, the girl, like, it's always a redhead in these superhero stories. So you already know the redhead is who he's going for. This is the reason he went to the Black Lives Matter rally in the first place and got his superpowers, because she invited him and he was like, oh yeah, I'm into it. Black power, So he got there. She knows he's a superhero. The dude, I think he was from the cartoon also. I can't remember his name. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Anyway, they all know he's a superhero. And she has a crush on him. She's trying to touch him. He pretends like he's tying his shoes and whatever, but he's still having flashbacks of, when he was, got hit in the Big Bang. Here's the thing. This is Static's dad. His dad looks a lot like Dwayne McDuffie. That's just me. But, and Dwayne McDuffie is actually the co-creator of Static Shock, who passed in 2011. But yeah.
That's a very, how he's standing in the light and all that.
Yeah, how he's standing in the light. That's not a coincidence. They basically want you to think that, Anyway, at the end of this, I don't know how to navigate this DC Universe app. This app kind of sucks. But yeah, anyway, he's reminiscing. Now they're thinking he was like, and basically his dad is telling him, we need to start training again because since you got in a fight, you need to make sure you're protecting yourself. He's like, Dad, I don't need to train, I don't need to do all this stuff like that. Then while they're, talking about what needs to be done, Hot Streak, Flaming Cheetos, yeah, he's outside. Hawkins, round 2. He's mad because he got that. He like, damn, he came to my house. You know what I mean? He's all flaming like that. He knows Static's got powers. He's like, bring your ass out. Round 2, let's go. So they go out and they fight, and Static takes some hits. He's like, you hit like a little bitch, But he remembers his dad kung fu training or whatever it is like that. He uses it to dodge the shit, kicks the shit out of him. Hiya, like Sparky, and they call each other like names and shit like that. And he remembers in chemical class how to stop a fire when it gets out of control. So he uses his electricity powers to do all that shit and stops him and knocks him out cold. And that's when he's like, okay, you this last time you humiliated me. So when his dad and so his family shows up and they finally realize that he's got superpowers because he's out there fighting superpower dude using superpowers, and Flamehead or whatever his name is does the unthinkable and blows up his house. The end. Yeah. So and why is that burn bang baby burn? That's the story. So it was cool for like for an intro story. It didn't just wasn't a barn burn or anything like that. It just knocked my socks off. It was just your normal, typical superhero story. It's getting his feet wet, I do feel like the Static books from the 90s grabbed you a lot better. But like I said, Dwayne McDuffie wrote that, and Dwayne McDuffie was a fucking genius. So I can't knock him for that. So overall, a good start, but I'm kind of waiting for Icon and Rocket to see what they do from there. So all right, I gotta go. It's 12 a.m. right now. I'm training for the big race. Oh, you're in motocross. I thought you just liked motocross. Oh, you got a race. Good luck.
Is he like somebody famous? I wonder if we're like, yeah. Give us a sponsorship.
Are you on ESPN or something like that? Can you give us a shout out? When you on?
Well, good luck, man.
Yeah, good luck. Hope you win. Yeah, let us know. But yeah, that's what I got with this book. It was okay. It was all right. I wanted more. I wanted to be more than what it was. But I got to be honest, I got to be objective. Yeah. It was what it was, So yeah, what you think? Like I said, you read it. But.
I mean, it's a superhero book, man. It's Spider-Man, but it hits those Spider-Man tropes. The kid in school juggling all this stuff, he has powers, but he has the pressures of being an adolescent, so it hits all those marks. And yeah, I thought I enjoyed it for what it is. I was more of a Blood Syndicate kind of guy.
Then they're not coming back. Yeah. DC don't have the balls to bring them back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, me, I geared towards, more hard shit, I guess. As superheroes, kind of were, I grew out of superheroes,
And that's that may be the angle I'm coming at from it. Because like I said, when I read Static in the 90s and his teenage adventures, I was a teenager. So I guess I relate to him more. Now I'm far from that. So I guess I can't really relate to that like I used to. Like I've seen this before. I read this last week with Miles Morales. So you kind of give me the same story over and over again, just repackaged. But that's why I wanna like it more than what I did, Eli. But
hey, if it gets kids, hopefully we can get kids, a new generation into these characters. That's
it's done its job. Yeah, it's done its job.
It hit all those beats, perfectly. So it stuck the landing. It sets up the next book. It sets up a cool fight. A cool conflict.
Artwork's pretty good. I mean, what else can you expect?
Yeah, the artwork was good. Yeah, artwork was cool. So yeah, I didn't mind it at all.
Shoot, all right.
I didn't hate it.
And that's the thing. I didn't hate it. So I guess they did something good there. So
yeah.
Right. So what you got next?
I guess I'll do Star Wars number 14. Is it?
Star Wars.
So this is chapter. What chapter are we on in the War of the Bounty Hunters event that's going on? So big huge event in the Star Wars comics. This takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Jedi. Han Solo has been frozen in carbonite. Boba Fett was taking him back to Jabba, but some bounty hunters came and robbed him. And now there's a big, huge bounty on Boba Fett because Jabba's pissed off for losing Han Solo. and now there's an auction. Crimson Dawn, yes, Kira from the Solo movie,
the gangsters, and Maul,
yeah. They have Solo, and they are auctioning them off to the highest bidder. So Leia gets Chewie and Lando to go sort of infiltrate this auction. So they're going to like this gangster auction. Thing is, Lando owes Jabba some droid. I'm not current on the Star Wars run right now, but Lando owes Jabba this droid, and what he does is I'll leave the droid in orbit by this planet where the auction is at, and you can just pick it up. But what's going on? Lobot, Lobot, the bald-headed robot guy,
Lando's sidekick,
Lando's sidekick. He's got some virus going on. He can't talk. His circuits are all fucked up, and it turns out that this robot could fix him. So right before he leaves, he jettisons the robot out into outer space and leaves a beacon. Lobot's like, hey, that robot can help me. So then Lando says, okay, well, let's get him back. So now he's got Jabba after him, and complications. So he's supposed to owe this robot to Jabba, but then he took the robot back. So Lando scheming, doing wheeling and dealing like he does. So that was pretty cool. I give it a 4 out of 5. This, like I said, this is just gangster crime, underworld shit in the Star Wars universe. And this, I'm following the main books because this is tying over into Vader, Dr. Aphra. But I'm only following the Bounty Hunter book, the Star Wars book, and the actual War of the Bounty Hunters comic. So, yeah. So
and
this
Charles
cool.
Soule is writing that main story.
Charles Soule is he on this one, or is this Greg Pak? Who wrote this? Yeah, this Soule is in charge of this one. Yeah, and he wrote the main Star Wars, the Bounty Hunter book. So yeah, this is cool. I enjoyed it.
Cool. All right. So next book I'm going to do is, which book I normally should have done first, but let's go ahead and knock this out. This end of this run, this is Heroes Reborn number 7. For those who haven't been keeping up what's going on, basically Marvel is just doing DC books right now. So they just taking knockoff characters that have been in their books for like decades, make Justice League, Avengers don't exist. This is issue 7 of 7. So this is the last issue of this crossover run, whatever you want to call it, graphic novel or whatever. But that's the thing. So basically how the book starts off, and we starts off with a flashback. Basically starts off, and it's the thing. I think what they're doing, they're basically putting like all the DC heroes in the Marvel universe, like actually going through Marvel events. Because this is Civil War. Like I said, they're in Connecticut, and in the Civil War comic, that's what happened. Connecticut got destroyed. So it's basically Hyperion and Nighthawk, and basically the same thing as Superhero Registration Act. They were like, look, but Nighthawk is like, it ain't about the Superhero Registration Act. You know what it's about. It's about her. She'll never love you. And, Hyperion is like, no, she'll. And then Nighthawk, blasts him in his arm because not only is he wearing the Venom symbiote suit, he's also wearing the Eye of Agamotto. Because magic and whatever, all that hurts him and stuff like that. So his arm is getting messed up. So Hyperion and they punch each other, stuff like that, and they fly through buildings. And Hyperion flies him into space. Now we're in present day, and they're best friends. None of that other stuff gets explained. It's just a thing that just happens. So that's neither here nor there. We're on to the next thing. What they're doing to talk about, they're in their headquarters and talking about some what is this Avengers thing we keep talking about? Like, who are they avenging? Are we talking about the Punisher? Like, they got something to do with it because we killed his family the other day and stuff like that. So, no, so they're just talking that we need to find out there is this team out there that's getting together. We don't know it exists. We never know they exist, but we need to find out something about them. And Hyperion said during his fight with the Hulk, right before he killed him, he got this word that there's this guy in the Arctic that was there. We need to find out. We need to do some digging and investigation on that. So they basically comparing notes to find out that people keep popping up that are not supposed to be here. They think the Avengers aren't supposed to be here. So they go to the Arctic. Dr. Spectrum goes and he realizes, yes, there was a guy that was here that has been here for decades that's no longer here. We don't know what he looked like, don't know who he was, but there was somebody here. So they're on to something, you know. Hyperion goes to Rocket Raccoon spaceship. They already killed him, and Groot was in there also. He killed Groot also. So like the ship's dead. Nobody's there. It was just some trees in there that kept saying their own name over and over again, but that's about it, you know. What do we go to here? Then we go to the Night Cave, and basically the woman they were talking about was Power Princess. Nighthawk, yeah, Nighthawk, I said his name right. And Power Princess basically telling like, this would never work between me and you. I would crush you like a jelly bean between my legs, unless that's what you want, you know. And then she's just sitting there while they're talking, and then basically and Nighthawk knows there's the Avengers are out there. He's the only one that knows, but like I said, he's America's greatest detective, not the world, but America's greatest detective. And he realizes he sees a guy with a Star-Spangled Shield, and he sees the Phoenix, but they're like, wait, I killed Jean Grey. Matter of fact, I ripped her from limb to limb and then threw her through all cross space and shit like that. And like, yeah, I remember. So they show another flashback of Wolverine killing Hyperion because his claws were enchanted by magic from the Alpha Flight member Shaman. So now
is this the one? Was this where he calls it voodoo? No, it must be. No, it's the other book. I read the Wolverine and Alpha Flight tie into this.
Is it? So what happened there? Because I didn't read that.
It talks about the war that, you know, it talks about the war that they had where the squadron in America invaded Canada and all that shit, and how they fought. It was like this big war, and then Sasquatch like betrays the team in order for them to live, because they were going to kill the Squadron Supreme was going to kill them, and and he kind of sells them out so Canada doesn't get destroyed. Hyperion, or no, what's his name? The Spectre guy, the Spectrum
Dr.
guy.
Spectrum.
Dr. Spectrum. He flies Wolverine to some out planet way the fuck out in the, you know, universe, and leaves him there. I don't know if you can breathe out in space or whatever, how your healing factor works. You'll probably die, but if you don't, you ain't gonna bother anybody here. And then leaves Wolverine on some planet.
Wow. So how did Hyperion live then?
I forget, but yeah, at one point, because Sasquatch fucked up, like sold them out. Shaman didn't enchant Wolverine's blades, so he didn't.
He thought he did, but he didn't.
Yeah, but in that book though, and you can tell that it wasn't Jason Aaron writing it. But Wolverine called Shaman's magic some voodoo bullshit or something.
He don't say it is, because like I said, in this book, it's just Wolverine just stabs him, and then that's it. Like, you don't see what happens after that.
Yeah. Weapon X and Final Flight. That's what the book was called. Ed Brisson wrote it.
Because it was like a war between America and Canada. We were like, these are greatest. Canada is America's greatest enemies. I'm like,
Shaman enchanted my claws with some sort of magic voodoo that lets me slide right through how Hyperion's skin like soft butter. So, Wolverine referring to Shaman's magic as voodoo is kind of shitty, I thought, but you know.
But you can't blame Jason. You can't blame Jason Aaron on it. So
yeah, it was Ed Brisson who wrote that. But you know, Wolverine is supposedly Lakota. You know, was adopted in Lakota according to canon, and that is canon in Marvel.
Isn't he like a ninja or something? Or he's everything.
He was, but he was in the tribe. He helped the Lakota tribe back in like the Hudson Bay Trading Company days, and you know, saved the tribe and married an Indian woman and all that shit. And that is canon. So
okay, well, back to the story. Okay,
but this is an alternate universe, so who knows?
Yeah, like I said, they don't explain any of that shit in this book. It's just Wolverine stabs Hyperion, and then he on to the next thing. So they're out in space, and Nighthawk is just like, "Why are we out in space?" Because I'm trying to collect. I'm trying to get this radiation from these minerals that came to Earth thousands of years ago, but nobody has seen them except the last person that saw these minerals was Howard Stark when he smuggled them out of Africa. But the same signature I'm getting in space that same signature came from Africa yesterday. So something isn't adding up. So, like I said, we're in Ravencroft, and basically
this was great.
This was great. So you saw, yeah, this shit was great. So Power Princess and the Blur are talking to the Green Goblin, and he's basically just saying, yeah, I make people do things they shouldn't do, just like you, Power Princess, when you brought that virus back to from man's world back to your utopians, you killed all your sisters. And she's like, okay, that's enough of that. Fuck you. And then she punches a hole through his chest. And this shit was hilarious after that. She was like, I don't know why the hell Nighthawk put up with this guy. I don't get it with you guys and your rogues galleries. You
boys and your precious rogues gallery. Yeah.
She just killed him and just walked the fuck off. See, now this is straight from Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman told Superman the same shit. Like, the reason I don't have a rogues gallery like Batman or Barry or you, Superman, because when I deal with them, I deal with them. That's it, So
like the Punisher.
Like the Punisher. She just does away with that shit. This, like I said, this was the Dark Avengers thing, but they did it with Harry Osborn. You can almost say this is almost like Lex Luthor, and this is a flashback. That's why she just killed him, but he's still there. It's flashback. You see, what do you see here? Moon Knight, Sentry, Valkyrie,
Ghost Runner or whatever.
Ghost Runner, Ghost Raider.
Yeah, he's a runner. Yeah.
No runner. He's a track star.
Valkyrie.
Okay. Valkyrie. So yeah, basically the Dark Avengers thing that happened like 2009 and was like that. So they're all talking, and it basically like, oh, we call them the big three, because in here they're the big three, and he's like, if they come down, there's like some kind of kinky ass throuple, I'm leaving this team, and basically just like they're saying, we're not going to tell the government, we're not going to tell the president what we're going to do, because he needs to have plausible deniability, because if he knows, they could be trouble for America. But what they don't know is that President Phil Coulson is listening into him the whole time. So basically they go to Africa, and they basically talk about the last president that was assassinated, President Nick Fury, who is the Howling Commander-in-Chief, and basically in Mephisto we trust. So everybody looking for Mephisto. Mephisto has been here the whole time. Stop looking for Mephisto. So yeah, he's there. They also talk about One More Day, where the Blur sold his marriage to Mephisto with Mary Jane, and that's the thing. So they're in Africa. Basically, every energy signature they found.
Look at that Hawkmobile.
Oh yeah, is that the Nightmobile, Hawkmobile? Yeah, yeah, the Hawk Tank, the Hawk Buggy, the Hawk Buggy. There we go, because they got those big ass wheels on it. So they know something is there. They know something is there, but they can't find it, and that's when they realize that. Then it opens up. And they see Wakanda. They were like, so Wakanda is real. And that's when the Avengers step out. And they say, oh, so you're America's mightiest heroes, huh? I don't think so. So you got Captain America, Black Panther, Blade, Phoenix, who is, Echo, Thor in his old school costume. And yes, that is a baby, Starbrand. So they have a baby on the team. Yeah. I'm not going to explain the baby. They have a baby on the team. So, and here's the thing. So since President Coulson knows what they've been doing, his chief of staff, you have the vice president, Thunderbolt Ross, and his press secretary, J. Jonah Jameson, is basically saying we need to do a spin campaign on this to make sure that the Avengers are treated like bad guys, to make sure they don't know. So while they're talking, Phil Coulson reaches to his, desk and shoots the shit out of him, So, because the thing is, nobody can know the Avengers exist. That's the thing. So why do I let this hellhound walks back out of the shadows, but say you did the right thing. I gave you this world you wanted. We're almost where we need to be at. He shoots him again because he starts moving. I think it's Thunderbolt or J. Jonah. I can't remember who it is. But anyway, Coulson shoots his ass again. And basically saying, don't worry. What we'll do is that use the same thing. We got you to do what we did before. And he pulls out and he worships, the hellhound, which we know is Mephisto. And he pulls out the Helahedrix, Helahedron, Pandemonium. Yeah, Helahedron. The Pandemonium cubes, not the Cosmic Cube, the Pandemonium cube. So obviously it's from hell, So basically that's how Coulson made this world it is now, which would explain how Coulson is even alive, because Deadpool killed him and he just popped back up for no reason. So obviously he sold his soul to the devil, and that's why Coulson's still alive. So it's all
that was very, very Nathan Wind Violator from Spawn.
Yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, so that's why he's in charge of Squad Supreme and all stuff like that. So yeah, so Like I said, the story. I thought we were gonna get some big conclusion. I didn't know there was another story after this story.
Yeah, the return, the hero's return. So that's gonna be that's gonna be the last issue, the big battle.
I felt like I got hoodwinked, Eli. I felt like I got bamboozled with this one. I'm thinking like we're gonna get something big, and then no, this is a setup for the last issue. I'm like,
so everything goes back to normal like next issue.
Yeah, and we know it was gonna happen. Yeah, they're gonna beat him. They're gonna go back to normal, and it's gonna be a thing. So, but like I said, it's not the journey. Well, it's not the destination. It's the journey.
Yes, I'm good, and I'm kind of over it by now. I mean, I'm glad we're going to be done.
I'm still digging it. I'm still digging it because, like I said, these tie-in books, I haven't got into it. Yeah, Mephisto's selling for Redcon. I didn't know about the whole Wolverine going to another planet, or Alpha Flight screwing each other over because Canada's scared of America. And honestly, I'm digging it. Give me a few more.
I read that Weapon X book because of this book. Because I wanted to see that. Oh, that sounds cool. So that's why I picked it up and read it. So.
I want to know the whole civil war behind Nighthawk and Hyperion. Why are they fighting and all of a sudden just cool and it's not a thing anymore? That was one, but they never explain that. They just cool. So I guess whatever. All right. So yeah, what you
got? I guess I will do Alien. Oh, what the hell? Wrong one. No, I don't want to open Firefox. And no, I don't want it to make changes to my computer.
Firefox, you like you begging for viruses.
That's why I'm not
infect me, please.
Okay, so I'll do Alien number 4.
Cool.
So this is Alien. Disney bought Fox, so now Disney owns Alien. So Marvel now owns Alien comic books. So they got them from Dark Horse. Now Marvel's doing them. I was a huge fan of the Alien comics at Dark Horse. So I've been skeptical. This has been okay. Marvel finally put out their Alien book, and it's been I'll give it a huge I so far. But this has this Cruz. He's a security guard that worked for Weyland-Yutani, the company that's been doing research on the aliens. He worked at their facility. He retired, but his son and his activist girlfriend, they took his security key and broke into the facility to sabotage, the company's studies and all that. And then they ended up unleashing the aliens, and then the space station went dark, lost contact. The company hired Cruz to go back there and rescue his son, but also save the alien specimen. So that's what we've been doing. At last issue, they got attacked by a bunch of aliens, but the Bishop android showed up and saved them. And this is more of the same. We continue. They're trying to escape the space station, but he's trying to find his son, and he's trying to find the alien specimen to take back to the company. He goes into a hive, the alien hive, where they incubate the people and put the face huggers on them and lay the egg in their chest. That's where he finds his son. His son has been incubated, has a face hugger on him. He's like, oh shit, he's gonna die. So he's contemplating shooting him, but then the girlfriend shows up and says, no, we're taking him back with us. You guys are gonna save him, blah 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 blah. So they're trying to escape. They almost get back to the ship, and this is where this kind of lost me. Like I said, I've been skeptical about Marvel pushing the violence, pushing the gore. They've been showing some gore here and there. They showed the chest burster last issue in full bloody glory. I was like, okay, now we need to see the alien tongue come out and pierce somebody's head, because that's the iconic thing that aliens do. The tongue comes out of their mouth with the teeth, the tongue with the teeth, and goes through their face. And this is what they did. Let's see. Let me share it.
Load it up. Let's see what we got.
I am going to share screen. Window. So you see that?
Yeah, let me see.
So you see the alien grabs the soldier's face. You see the alien mouth opening up, ready to pierce his tongue with the teeth through the guy's face. And we go to, let's see, where'd it go? Come on. You see it, and then splurk right there. We don't see it.
Oh yeah, just suggestive. That's
yeah. So it happens off panel, and I was like, "What? Oh, so nope. Marvel doesn't have the balls that Dark Horse did."
Damn. Okay.
So that was a huge disappointment for me. Yeah. So, anyways, they're trying to escape, and then there's an alien called the Alpha. I'll stop sharing that. Get rid of that. Yeah, there's an alien called the Alpha that they want a sample of, and he looks like, he's like this big. So again, they're inventing new shit. Instead of the Queen alien, who was the baddest of all aliens, now there's this Alpha guy. I don't know how I feel about that. They could have just made a really cool alien queen, but now they're inventing shit.
Well, that's some Brood shit right there. That's the Brood from the X-Men.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a Brood.
They do that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the art,
like they'll have queen colonies, but then they'll have like a king that controls the queens. That's the Brood shit. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was okay. This is just okay for me. The art is awesome. Was it Salvador LaRocca? Was that his name? Who's doing the art? Dope ass art. And that's the only selling point for me right now. But the story is just kind of I don't know how I feel about this Alpha. I don't know how I feel about these indestructible aliens. And if they're going to shy away from the bloody gore, yeah, I'm kind of like over it. So it's a 3 out of 5.
That sounds kind of depressing, but okay. Yeah, next book. I don't know, Eli. This next book might be my book of the week.
Okay.
I don't know. Fantastic Four number 33.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, I think it might. I think it might be my favorite book this week. It was like I read it. It was like it delivered on all. But I don't know. I have to review it and see if I still feel the same way. Because sometimes when I review shit that I liked at first, I reviewed. I'm just like, you know what? That shit kind of sucked. But Brood versus Alien Dawn, the replacement. Oh, well, that's the thing. 616 man. The Brood was just a ripoff of the aliens. But now that they have the aliens, like, what do you need the Brood for? So it's like, I don't know.
So why did you read this?
I'll tell you why. When I review it, you'll know why.
Okay.
that's why. I don't want to spoil it for you yet. Like I said, this is they put it in there. Okay, so this is the second part of the Bride of Doom. So Doom is getting married. So that's the thing. And not only is he getting married, the Fantastic Four are his groomsmen. So they're in the wedding. And the reason they're in the wedding is because Doom has no friends. So it's like, since I have no friends, I might as well invite my enemies, my worst enemies. Because technically, Reed Richards is the closest person to him, even though they hate each other. So fuck it, be my best man. But anyway, let's get to the story. What do we got here? We're gonna get to it. Okay, so going to it, like I said, Doom and the woman he's marrying is named Zora, but I think her name is Victorious. They're in Castle Doom, whatever like that. And basically, it's the day before the wedding. It's being served by the Doom boss like that. And he's just like, why are you being so quiet right now? He's like, I don't think I'm worthy of this honor of being your wife. He's like, look, I know your secret. Don't worry about it. I know you're not native of Latveria and you're really from Simcaria. That's okay. I conquered that nation the other day, so they belong to us now. So technically, you're Latverian. So cheers, And he takes off his mask, because I want to make sure there are no secrets between us. I want to share everything with you. She wears Praise Doom, Endless Doom, and stuff like that, So, yeah. So we go to the Fantastic Four, and basically they're talking it over, stuff like that. So yeah, Reed Richards is his best man, and Ben Grimm is like, you know what? If you're gonna be in the wedding, I might well show up at the wedding also. And because here's the thing, Doom said anybody that shows up to his wedding is a clean slate with him. So anybody that comes to his wedding, he no longer has a beef with you. So if the Fantastic Four shows up, they have a clean slate with Doom. Doom won't bother him anymore. They're like, cool. So Reed Richards, his arch enemy, has to show up. Otherwise, he's gonna piss Doom off. Doom hates Ben Grimm because Ben Grimm made the ship that fucked up Doom's face to begin with, and somehow Sue Storm show Doom's face to the world. I didn't read that story, whatever like that. But anyway, she saw the future, and Doom holds a grudge 6 years later. So she like, if he shows up, Doom won't get pissed off. So basically, the only person Doom isn't pissed off at is Johnny Storm. So Johnny's just like, look, if y'all going, I'm gonna come anyway. Plus, if Doom handing out get out of jail free cards, shit, I might take one too, just in case, So basically, they said what's going on with the kids. Tell Franklin and Val they got to stay at home, guard the base, stuff like that. Val's pissed off because I wanted to go see Uncle Doom again and go to his lab. And Reed's like, look, you can go to, we'll build a lab when I come back. They're like, you gonna build a death ray? Like, no, because Uncle Doom got a death ray. So I want to see his, Thing and Alicia, they adopted the Kree girl and the Skrull boy, or vice versa, like that. And basically tell them to stay at home, and they all gonna. So basically, they left the kids, and they left the kids with Alicia, and they all go in there. Johnny is calling his girlfriend to be his +1 to Doom's wedding, and she's like, nah, we broke up. Don't call me anymore. I'm going back to my alien planet. I'm getting the fuck away from you, because you ain't shit, Johnny Storm. So yeah, so that's the thing. So they fly off. They go to Latveria. Doom has his Doombots going to there. They meet him. Doom's got 2 pet tigers there. Basically, Doom says that since you're here on the island, we have a truce. I will not try to kill you while you're on the island. Everything's cool. So you don't have to bring any weapons, and I won't have any weapons on me. So it's cool. So, and this is the fucked up part about it. Sue Storm asks, okay, so Doom, if everything's cool, why did you plan the wedding on the same exact date of reading my anniversary? You're like, oh, did I do that? My bad. I forgot. So, and yeah, he fucked up things wedding also. And yeah, going past that, skip that shit. Yeah, right here. Oh yeah, this part right here. So, like I said, since he's the best man, Reed Richards has Doom's wedding ring. And Sue Storm is just like, what about the wedding ring? Should we do something to it? Bug it or something like that? He's like, no, Doom gave his word that he wouldn't do any fucked up shit to us, so I trust him. And Doom is spying on him through the ring. He was like, you know what? Since they trust me, I'm destroying my lab, all my death rays, all my planet destroying systems. I'm kill all this shit, destroy everything. So like, but Master, we got this one thing. What about the Armageddon? We haven't finished building it yet. And if we don't finish it, it could blow up, Latveria. They're like, okay, get rid of all the weapons except for that one. I'll get rid of that one after the wedding. But until then, that's it. So they out there celebrating. The wedding is here. There's parade through the streets of Latveria. And T'Challa shows up. So he's there. And also, Namor is there. So before they do anything, Ben Grimm stands between here like, look, y'all chill. I know y'all got beef. I know it's a thing. But this is a good time. Stay at Doom's place. And because Namor actually considers Doom a friend. Black Panther just think like Latveria and Wakanda relations just need to get better, stuff like that. But anyway, they're at the wedding. So you see everything that's going on. And Ben Grimm is actually bringing Zora down the aisle. And that's because her father's dead. She was like, I'm honored that you let me do that. And she's just like, well, my dad was a spy for the warring countries. So they buried his body. I don't know where it was. I'm glad he's dead. And she's just like, well, damn, you and Doom are like a perfect match. So they walk down there. The kids love them. And Doom's like, okay, Pastor, hurry this shit up. He's like, yes, my Lord. So while they're doing all that, he's like, do you take this woman to be your awfully wedded, whatever? And Doom is just like, by the blood of my ancestors, yes, I do. And I will curse any man that brings any harm to her or try to take her from my side. And while all that is going on, Sue Storm looks at Johnny and he's squirming in his seat. She's like, what the fuck's going on here? So she looks at Zora and Zora looks back at her. She's like, oh shit. So Zora says, okay, hold on. Stop the wedding. Doom, I got something I got to tell you. I got into entanglement with one of your greatest enemies. Entanglement. Yeah. She got entangled with one of his greatest enemies. And it was Johnny Storm. And it was like, what the fuck? So Namor is laughing his ass off.
He's laughing. That's funny.
Because everybody. And then Doom is just like, what the fuck? And then, the Fantastic Four are like, Johnny, what the hell? thing is just like Storm is like, I can't believe this shit. And so he smacks him in the back of the head. So Doom is fucking pissed. He like, you brought this shit, and that's the page I skipped. They actually explain this shit early in the story, which I feel like they shouldn't have. They explained early in the story that they had a thing, and that's why his girlfriend broke up with him, because she knew what Johnny did, you know. So that's when Black Panther, Namor, and the Dora Milaje going to war. Like, yeah, we know Doom is pissed, but we need to make sure that, you know, that they're still our friends. We need to stop this shit before it gets out of hand, you know. But before they can do anything, they all get hypnotized and punched. They can't move. The reason they can't move because that blinding light that was behind Doom and his altar was actually hypnotizing them, so they can't do anything. And Reed was like, hold up, Doom, you gave your word you wouldn't try to kill us. It was like, no, I gave my word I wouldn't attack you. I didn't give my word I wasn't planning to kill you. That's a difference. But now you did this shit. You basically cucked me in front of the entire world. I'm killing everybody. Everybody got to go. And then while they're doing that, Ben Grimm is just like, Reed, before we die, I got to tell you something. What? It's really important. What is it? I told you so. You know? So basically, he knew Johnny was going to do some fucked up shit at this wedding. Or maybe he just knew the wedding was going to go to shit. One or the other, I don't know what it is. But anyway, Doom's robot's about to kill everybody, to be continued. So, yeah, I just like this book, man. It was, to me, it was hilarious as shit. Johnny Storm was just quiet the whole time. He was squirming in the seat. I just thought that was hilarious. So yeah, and that's what the Fantastic Four would be. Just some wild, wacky shit just going on. So yeah, not that old this story, Johnny Storm, the man horse saga. Right, that's what it is. So I mean, yeah, Hickman brought all this pathos, you know, and you know, stuff to the Fantastic Four, but this just fun. So yeah, that's all I got. What you got next?
You know what? Are you booked out yet?
I'm done. That's all I got.
Okay. I got a bunch of other ones that I read, but I'm only going to talk about. I want to talk about this. What's her name? Hold on. Get back to. Come on, tablet. Get out of there. Okay.
Technology just won't act right.
Yeah. Adora and the Distance.
Now you should have told me you were reviewing this, because it's actually free on Comixology Unlimited.
Yeah. So
I didn't
this
know that,
is
so, yeah.
Mark Bernardin, who does the
Fat Man
Beyond podcast with Kevin Smith. He does like Battlestar Galactica podcasts, and he's written for Star Trek and some TV shows and stuff like that. Ariella Christiania or Kristantina, Brian Valenzuela, and Bernardo Bryce. This is Mark Bernardin's book that he wrote basically about his daughter.
So it's not like a fantasy story or anything? Or?
It's a fantasy story about this girl named Adora. She's like this orphan who shows that it's some fantasy realm with pirates and knights and all that stuff. So it's this fantasy realm. But she's like an orphan who just kind of shows up, you know, on the doorstep of this prince. And she's being raised in this, this kingdom. She's learning how to fence. She's learning, learning science and all this stuff. But she keeps having these nightmares about this thing called the Distance, and it's kind of like this storm, this dark storm that's coming and that will destroy everything. Kind of like the Nothing in Never Ending Story. It's kind of like that. And it turns out this distance, this storm, it seeks people who have these dreams, and these dreamers have to go face it themselves. So her and like a Fellowship of the Ring, her and a bunch of warriors go on this journey to go face this storm. And it's basically, it's a hero's journey. They meet pirates. There's a volcano that blows up. They get into some fights. People are scared of her because they think she's bringing this storm. A bunch of them die along the way. It's an adventure tale.
But she's like the chosen one in this.
She's kind of she's a dreamer that the Distance is after. And she finally gets to where the storm is at, and she goes to confront it. And there's one sole survivor in the group, and she tells her, go back and tell them, this got kind of emotional for me because I have a daughter with special needs, and but she told the girl to go back and tell them my story, and then she says she never heard from her again, and always wondered what happened to Adora. And it shows Adora going into this storm, and it's like this, like weird, like space storm, like spacey place.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And it turns out that it was all a dream, and this girl has autism.
Wow. Okay. Did you know that going in?
I heard that Mark Bernardin's daughter had autism, and he said he wanted to write a story sort of about her. And it talks, and this last scene is them, the parents, this girl's parents, just at this therapy. They're in therapy, and the girl she's nonverbal. She doesn't like being touched. Like a lot of kids on the spectrum, they have sensory issues. They don't know what's going on in her head. And yeah, that's basically what they're wondering, what's going on in her head. And it turns out this is the adventure that she's thinking about, that this distance, this storm is like reality or something, So I, as a parent with special needs, a daughter with special needs, this kind of like hit kind of personal for me, and just sort of wondering what's going on in their heads, because they're nonverbal. They can't really tell how they feel or what they're thinking about. And their parents are just kind of wondering what's happening. And sort of this is just basically showing she has what kind of adventure that they're living in their heads, that we don't know about. So I thought that was pretty powerful. So yeah, this was my book of the week, and this is like I really dug on this. Yeah. So yeah, I really like this. Adora in the Distance. It is free on Comixology.
Yeah. Comixology Unlimited. So
unlimited.
You still got to pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why when you told me that, I went and snatched it up real quick, and that's why I was able to pull those pictures up real quick.
Yeah, it's an adventure tale, but then at the end, when you find out what it is and what's happening, it's like, wow, yeah, that's that. There she is. They're in like this therapy. They're trying to teach her how to communicate. And they don't know. I mean, a lot of these kids are nonverbal. They don't like you can't hug them. I can't. My daughter hates taking baths. She hates it's a sensory thing. It's too much stimulation. They can't. For her, it's just too much for her. She doesn't like being touched, and her face, especially her face being washed.
So
and
yeah, that's man, yeah. Mark Bernardin, he's a great writer. He's been around for a while. Hey, even just on the podcast, just telling stories, you can tell he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Well, Genius is. I don't know if you ever read Genius. His book Genius which was great. I thought it was cool as hell. It's a different kind of hero tale. And for people with who are, who have special needs, who are on the autism spectrum, I encourage, check this out, read about it, and,
cool.
Learn that perspective. It's pretty cool. But that's pretty much it. I did read the new New Mutants. They're at the Hellfire Gala,
of course they are.
And partying and shit. The new Berserker #3 was really cool. We're learning more about the guy's past, and how he's thousands of years old, and he's been doing war all his life. That was really cool. Star Wars High Republic from IDW continues to be really cool. But other than that, that's pretty much all I got.
Cool. All right. So if you're listening this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. We have other podcasts. We have This Geeks and Comics. We have I can't remember. Okay Boomer. We have them. I think that's it. I think the other guys Get Valiant and Hoodoo TV. I think they just do their own thing now. So but I think we have a wrestling podcast too, but Smart It is that what
I don't even know. Wrestling podcast?
I think so. Something new. Something just popped up. And I'm trying to start back up the video game streaming podcast. However, my hard drive got erased yesterday. So my computer can't read it. So it's always some bullshit. That's why I didn't do anything yesterday. But hopefully I get that fixed next week. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, appreciate everybody coming back. I know last couple podcast episodes we've had technical difficulties with my mic. That's because I got this new computer where the mic is coming out of somewhere else instead of where it's supposed to go. I hope I fix it this time. If I didn't, oh well, fuck it. We'll fix it next week. And I guess something will happen next week. We'll talk about it, then we'll go from there. But yeah, appreciate everybody coming back. I think this one did numbers. We'll take a look at it and see. Eli, anything else you got to add?
Nah, I think we got it.
Cool. All right. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.